Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody! Yeah. You guys, I gotta be subjected to this torture now. Well, at least I am actually, for once, watching a romance on Valentine's Day. Or at least getting a review out then. You don't know when this was filmed. So, 50 Shades Darker. Okay, so, we all know 50 Shades of Grey, right? The most hilarious book of the summer. I forget when it came out, but when it did, it received a lot of critical backlash for just being plain awful. It was originally a fan fiction for Twilight. It was a softcore fanfic involving like S&M and stuff, but the writer later changed that to be these two original characters, right? And then people start reading the book, and some people loved it because of how erotic it was, and some people loved it because you could flip to literally any page, start reading, and the writing would be so bad you'd burst out laughing. So it has that aspect, and yeah, I've done that myself. I flipped to random pages in that and read like a random segment, and yeah, most of that book is just pure entertaining stupid, and it's kind of magical in that way. So of course, because it's so popular, they made the writer made more books, and the Hollywood system's like a popular series of books. We'll make a movie of them. So they made the 50 Shades of Grey movie. Now, I saw that in preparation for this review. I actually went out of my way and saw that movie. And what do I have to tell you? It's pretty lame. It's not that funny. That's the problem. They kind of took the book and improved it. They cut out a lot of the stupid lines and just kept the general gist of it. And I guess the idea was just to attempt to make it a better movie, but honestly it makes the movie so forgettable. I barely remember watching it. Even though I saw it like a few days ago, there's nothing to it. The sexy S&M scenes aren't that sexy, just kind of awkward. Because I don't think the screenwriters understood how that works, nor am I sure the original writer knew how that works. And the characters themselves, oh my fucking god. Complete dipshits. Especially our main character, the one who's in love with Mr. Grey. Like, completely baffling motivation. I do not understand why she would be interested in this, other than the fact that he's a really rich guy who also happens to look good. I don't understand why she'd be interested in this guy, but I don't know, maybe that's all you need. But I thought she was set up as a smarter character than that. But whatever, that's not the point. The whole point of this book is for softcore porn purposes. Like with regular porn that you watch on the internet, you're not supposed to think of the story. You're not supposed to think like, wait a second, why would the doctor be undressing right now? That doesn't make any sense. That's not the point. So I guess maybe I'm just supposed to look at it as a porn? And in terms of porn, well, softcore is pretty tame, so I'm not that impressed by that. I don't know, I guess if your fetish is softcore S&M, which is the strangest combination of words I've ever had to say, softcore S&M. That kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? I mean, they talk about hardcore stuff when they're doing all that contract bullshit. Oh man, that was the other thing. Most of the movie, a large section of the movie is just dedicated to contracts and law and like figuring out exactly in written words how far can we go with this. And I guess the idea was just supposed to be setting up, oh yeah, these are the boundaries and stuff. And yeah, this is how he thinks about things, because he's a big businessman and stuff. And I'm thinking, this isn't romantic, this isn't sexy, this is stupid. Like, I can understand maybe if there's a contract involved, but, like, skim over that, okay? That's not the interesting part. And that's where the movie mainly fails there. And yeah, I understand that they couldn't release an actual porn into theaters, but still, if you can't, then you should probably make up for it by rewriting their relationship to make more sense and have a lot more empathy for it. Just saying. So anyway, as I mentioned, the person who wrote the book also wrote 2 other books, 50 Shades Darker and... God, I don't even fucking remember. So, I skimmed... a couple years ago, I happened to come across a 50 Shades Darker, and I was like, oh, this could be funny. So, I picked up the book, and I skimmed to a random chapter just like you do in the original book, and I read it, and I was like, okay, this isn't funny. It's just kind of boring. And that's when I knew something was wrong. So when they decide to release a 50 Shades Darker movie, I'm like, alright, that is gonna be so boring. I think, honestly, the writer of that book, as inept as she was, could only get all those ideas into one book, and was basically forcing herself to make the others for more money. Which I understand, but now I have to be subjected to the movie adaptation of a book that probably didn't have any ideas. So I'm assuming this is going to be the most boring piece of dreck I've ever seen. So, yeah. I'm not expecting much. I don't know. It's gonna be terrible, and I might fall asleep, and yeah. Let's get it over with. Yeah, you know what, I think I'm going to give up on sex now. Yeah, you know what? Kind of thought the concept interested me before, but after watching this movie, and just how boring it is, yeah, I think I'm done. No. Yeah. I'm done with the whole concept of that. Yeah. No, don't even want to think about it anymore. Because, Jesus Christ. Thought the first movie was boring. This takes boring to a whole new level. Jesus Christ. You know what the main problem is? Those characters in the first movie. They continue their arc in this one, but they're such weak characters. They have so little to say that, like, the very idea of extending them to a full feature-length film, yet alone 3 feature-length films, as it's probably going to be, is utterly ridiculous. They have nowhere near enough character to carry it for that long. And the movie does try to introduce some new elements, I suppose, like our main character, Anastasia. She has a boss who's a pervert, and he's pretty much finished off, like, as soon as his arc gets going. So we don't see or hear from him again after that, except for, like, baiting for the 3rd movie. There's this crazy ex-lover of Christian Grey, one of his ex-subs, and there's a super exciting scene where she has a gun, and then she's taken care of really easily. There's a super exciting plane crash, or helicopter crash, where Christian Grey's helicopter, it falls down in the middle of the jungle. Oh no, is he gonna be okay? Oh, it's alright, he's right here. Like, literally, like, 2 minutes later. Oh, he's okay. Nothing wrong. He has, like, a bit of blood, but easily fixed. There's no tension! There's no conflict, there's no plot. Not to mention, this is... the way that this movie, like, is set up, it would make the crazy lady from Misery, like, go on a psychotic rampage. Like, at the end of the first movie, basically it ended with Anastasia just being completely disgusted with Christian Grey's activities and leaving him. And that's the end of the movie. Like, she's done. It's all over. She completely grossed out, hates him now. This movie begins, I guess I'm kind of into it again. Let's get back together. What? That's not writing! For Christ's sake, you need to have some sort of reason, not just he showed up and she was like, all right, I'll give it another chance. Like, come on! The movie's just so boring. You can tell that they were running out of ideas with this one more than any other, because literally every single time that the plot started to lull and nothing was happening because they couldn't think of a good story, it just cut to another sex scene. There's like 12 in this movie, and each one is so tame. For Christ's sake, what did the first movie involve? The first movie, in terms of, like, sex things, it involved... I think there was one of those horse whips. Like, not one of the harsh ones, it just had, like, fabric tip, like, about this long. It's not one of those ones that hurts very much. And, yeah, I think that's it. Whoa, kinky. How painful. This movie, what does this movie involve? Spanking and leg cuffs and handcuffs. Oh! And the funny part was, she walked into his red room, which has all the things, and he demonstrates how nipple clamps worked. And if they actually used that, that would bring it up a tiny bit. But then she goes over to these other to these leg clamps, and she leg cuffs, and she's like, "What are these?" And he says, "Those are a few steps ahead of you," or something like that. It's like, freaking leg cuffs? Look, that's tame, man. I know. There's people who involve themselves with that and don't even consider it S&M because it's so tame. It's like, Christ, can you understand this any less? And, Jesus. Dialogue in this is horrible. But yeah, anything else? Vaginal beads. They brought it up a tiny bit by involving vaginal beads. You know, this is the second movie, and nobody has brought out, like, I don't know, chains, collars. I mean, I'm not expecting a full gimp suit at this point, but, like, anything? This is the tamest S&M I've ever seen! Fuck. So, but yeah, in terms of bad dialogue, one line that stuck out to me right before one of the awkward sex scenes was, "I have too many clothes on." That's an actual line. There's one where he's like, "Come on, I need you, I gotta get back together with you." She's like, "Really?" He says, "Yes, I'd like to renegotiate the contract." She broke up with him in the other movie because he's so obsessed with control and contracts and stuff, and then he opens up with, "I want to renegotiate the contract." Oh my god, this movie is made of stupid. It's not funny, though, the way I'm describing it. It is mostly boring. I'm sure if you supercut all the moments that are kind of amusing from this movie, you would have like a 30-second long clip in a 2-hour movie. So do not watch it on that basis. This is PSA from me. It's mostly just boring, plotless, and just a string of back-to-back sex scenes where the MPAA won't even let them show genitals. So, What's even the point? You can rent something at your local video store. Wait, those don't exist. You can rent something at your local internet that has far better sex things for you to watch, if that's what you want. Don't watch this boring-ass movie for that sort of thing. Jesus. And of course the third one's gonna get made. Just like the books, it's just gonna ride on that trail. Like, yeah, everybody wants to see more 50 Shades of Grey. Yep. I don't even remember what it's called. It's like 50 Shades of Black? No, wait, that's the Marlon Wayans parody. Did I see that? I saw that. I reviewed that. That was terrible. But yeah, whatever. Well, I look forward to the next one. Until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching a Dyer-Situation.